It was a bright and sunny day. It was also Monday, which is an unboxing day. What's up, witches? I'm Luna. Welcome to my channel. Whether you're new or a regular, I hope you are also having a bright and sunny day. And let's move on to the unboxing. This is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, and I've had my eye on this for quite some time. I do believe this started as an indie, but I'm not absolutely sure. It is published by Ulysses Press, and I had to search my Excel document to find out that I had no other decks by Ulysses Press. And then I did an internet search. I went to their website and found that they have two other tarot decks. One is called the Chibi Tarot, and one is the Houseplant Tarot. So I'll be looking into those a little bit further. This is 78 card tarot deck, 144 page companion guide, created and designed by Lindsay Silverman, X Eye of Astro. I'm not sure what the X means, like, 9x5, 9 by 5 by, I'm not sure. It says, connect to intuition, delve into nature, cross the hidden veil, embrace the universe, unfold your myth. Those are nice. That's very a succinct little list there. What I'm finding odd about this right off the rip is that the lid seems to come down, the lid comes down past the bottom of the box, which I find kind of odd. Well, anyhow, it's got a nice sturdy two-part box with the little finger grippies on the side. Here's the booklet. Lindsay Silverman, Eye of Astro. So I would like to know who is which, is what. It says designed by, the copyright here is 2020. Lindsay Silverman, X Eye of Astro. So it doesn't say one way or another. We've got the editors, supporting editors. You can find me here at Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, at Eye of Astro, at Lindsay Silverman, hashtag Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, hashtag ING Tarot, eyeofastro.com /ING Tarot, eyeofastro@gmail.com. So I assume that's all the same person. And here we have those phrases again: connect to intuition, delve into nature, cross the hidden veil, embrace the universe, unfold your myth. Really nice thing. Let me look in the back and see if we have anything about the artist. Meet the maker. Here we go. Origin story. How interesting that that's way at the back. So and very interesting. Okay, I'm intrigued because, oh, I see. All right. So let's just go here. The contents have mantras first, which makes me go, ooh. I do mantra work, and it's wonderful and powerful. What is tarot about this deck? How to work with the cards, card symbolism, quick guide, origin story, meet the maker, and acknowledgments. So let's look at the origin story. This deck started as a thought that had been attempted many times but never felt right. It wasn't until a darkening day upon twilight, when I was alone in the deserts of the Southwest, meditating on the abundance of spiritual power and connection surrounding me, that the vision for these cards came. Nighttime scenes full of lush nature, animals, magic, and beauty, with goddesses standing proudly, fiercely, and wildly amongst them, awakened before me. Over the next 3 years, I spent more than 1,000 hours piecing together these worlds through digital collage and drawing, to create a language that tells a story of what the tarot means to me. I've worked with the traditional Rider-Waite deck since I was a teenager, but often found it too dark and turned to other oracle decks. After taking on the challenge of telling the tarot in my own voice, I found real love for the Rider-Waite cards and traditional tarot in general, as it tends to happen. I figured out that there isn't good or bad, but rather that we are constantly flowing or fighting with our divine paths. Through working with the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, I hope you discover your own power and magic, learn to trust in your intuition, and find your place among the stars. Meet the Maker, the intuitive night goddess tarot and companion guide were created and designed by me, Lindsay Silverman of Eye of Astro. Okay, so that's the business name. That X, I'm kind of thrown by that. That might be something that's used now that I just wasn't aware of. I'm an intuitive healer, artist, and witch. Interested in the cards from a young age, I felt they had a deep wisdom. Over the years, the magic of decks entered my life in more serious ways and began to change my path. This led to me studying energy healing as well as mentoring under a psychic medium. I began to discover how real magic is all around, waiting for me to engage with it in all facets of my life. I'm a walker between the visible and hidden worlds, pulling back the veil through the work that I do. I love to hold space for my clients to explore their own depths, heighten their intuitions, and get to know themselves. I welcome you to journey through the universe around you in pursuit of unexpected connections. Eye of Astro is my intuitive healing and design practice, which holds all the roses in my garden. My healing and design practice, which holds all the roses in my garden. Okay, clearly, it is the space in which I share how people can connect to their own intuition. Which holds all the roses in my garden. I still don't know what they mean by that. How people can connect to their own intuition, their own magic. Through this work, we're able to build trust with ourselves and find empowerment to navigate life with a sense of purpose and understanding. By creating decks, I offer a tool to individuals who are seeking this introspection, healing, alignment, and activation to find peace in the light and the dark. Head to my website, eyeofastro.com, to find out more. So she says decks. So now I'm very interested. All right, back to the beginning. Let's look at these mantras. I am grateful for where I am today. I am enough. I have enough. I am present. I am mindful. I am the master of my own destiny. My growth is eternal. I have love in my heart. My potential is infinite. Trust my imagination. I wish that was I trust my imagination. I have people in my life who love and support me. I welcome abundance into my life. My path is already laid before me. My magic is my power. What is Tarot? Tarot is a centuries-old set of cards played for both fun and divination. Activate them with your intention and unlock the answers you seek. An open spirit is the only key you'll need. May they illuminate paths of healing and growth in your life. Then it says about the deck. We've already heard about the deck. How to work with the cards. There's no one way to read the cards. As with everything in life, it's wise to listen to your intuition, discern what feels best for you. Okay, we have connecting. We have a 4-card spread, past, present, future, meditation. 3 cards, past, present, future, mind, body, spirit, intention, block, solution, receive, release, patience, situation, action, outcome, start, stop, continue. Ooh, I like that. You, other, relationship, strength, weakness, advice, logic, emotion, decision, you, direction, potential, where you are, where you want to be, how to get there. 7-card chakra spread. And then we have clearing. Don't forget to protect your magic. Clearing the energy of the deck is an important ritual. There are a number of ways I do it, or to do it. I advise you to investigate these methods. Crystals, smoke, sound, moonlight, flowers, pendulum, elemental, intention. Listen to what your deck needs. Awesome. And now we have the cards. Major and minor. So there's a description of the majors and the minors. There's a description of the suits. And then we go into the majors where we have 1 page each, it looks like. 1 or more page each. So you see the Fool has 1 page and then the next one has a lot. All right, let's get into the deck, because I'm already hitting things that I want to talk about. So we have I really like this. Ooh, I really like that. The pair of hands. Okay. Here's hoping that there's not too much glare to see these. So the backs are rather plain. Just black with white specks. So like a starry sky. And right away, I'm noticing something that makes me very sad. See that? The cards are not cut evenly. Usually you see this where decks are packaged, where they have the deck split into 2 and they're like side-by-side little pockets. And they are cut at different times. This deck clearly was cut in two halves, and I mean, I can just split it like that. So it's not going to shuffle well. It's not going to riffle shuffle well. That makes me sad. You're seeing this more and more, and I think publishers really need to be made aware of it. I may take that on. Okay, so here we start with the Fool, the 0 card, but it's not the Fool, it's potential. And let me close my curtain a little bit and see if we can, that's a little better. Maybe. All right, that's a little better. So instead of the Fool, we have potential. And these are, now she talked about using a combination of collage and drawing. And we see that dark night sky, like the back of the cards. We see these rays emanating out from a black sun, a black moon, a black hole. Don't know, but you can see the energy rays coming out. We have, I don't know if those are poppies. Not sure. But here's this goddess in a, looks like a sari kind of outfit, and a tiger. So we do stick to the original in form. She is stepping off a cliff. There's an animal at her feet, but nothing else is the same as the Fool, including the name. It's called Potential here, and that is a really great reminder. 0 by itself, it's not nothing. It's all potential. Anything is possible. When you're at a place of unrealization and, emptiness, then everything becomes possible. And so the card is called Potential, and I appreciate that. The card stock is satin. It's not really shiny. It's not really matte. And it feels like, they have a decent weight to them, and you might be able to shuffle them, except for that issue. Okay. Next, the Magician is called the Witch. So this is a goddess deck. And again, we have like a choli and a drape looking like a sari. So I'm interested to see if this like cultural setting plays through. And you know what? Let's take a look here. If she offers what that, what I'm looking for here is if the majors and the minors and each of the suits, denote a particular culture. I don't see it mentioned. All right, moving on. So here's the Witch. And of course, it's the intuitive night goddess deck. Here are goddesses. It's nighttime. I expect this to be a thoroughly feminine deck. And so she has the sword, the wand or the staff, the pentacle, and the cup. So again, in basic elements, they're the same, and then they step off. Here's the High Priestess. Again, that Indian style of dress. Look at the glowing moon in her hand. I like that a lot. Look at the antlers on her head. Oh, yeah. We see the pomegranate. There's a black lotus. I am definitely intrigued. I hope, back to the book, I hope that elements are described, elements of the image, but we'll see. Goddess stands amidst a lush and overgrown nature scene. Let's go back here. Proudly holding up the crescent moon to indicate her connection to intuition in the hidden realms. In her other arm, she cradles a scroll, indicating that knowledge and study have helped as a tool to tap into these aspects of her higher self. Does she hold a scroll? I guess she does. It's kind of hard to see. Upon her head is a crown of antlers with a third eye brooch in the center, affirming the wisdom of blood. There are black and white flowers surrounding her to represent contrasts that life has to offer. So yes, the pomegranates, what they refer to. So this is, I like this. When you're going to, especially if you're going to deviate from the traditional, it's very helpful to me and very much appreciated when each of the elements in the image are talked about. Okay, the Empress. She has the Venus symbol on her chest. So here you can really see the other ones. I wasn't seeing as much of the collage. They look much more like drawings, just like the whole thing has been drawn. Do you see what I mean? That looks like 100% drawing. This, I see, come on. I'm being patient. Here's where I see photo collage. Very interesting. And the images look kind of like face value. Oh, there's green, there's flowers. But if you go in, there are other things you can pick out, and I am looking forward to those things being mentioned. For instance, here's a waterfall. Is that the planet Earth, possibly? Pansies. Beautiful. Here's the monarch. So instead of the emperor, which just, this tells me, yes, this is a fully feminine deck. Instead of the emperor, we have the monarch. It certainly looks feminine. Look at the butterflies, the tiger. Several different kinds of butterfly. Very beautiful. I love the imagery. It's gorgeous. And then instead of the Hierophant, we have the mystic. I love it. We've got, look at the little fish tail. So she is a mermaid, but the tail doesn't start until well below her ass. That's interesting. There's a wand. There's like an orb and a book. Is it the moon? Not the moon? I'm not sure. The Wayfarer. So we have now altered all except the Empress and the High Priestess, which are already thoroughly feminine. So I'm thinking that any cards that are not already thoroughly feminine are going to be altered. So the, pardon me. And I'm going to start getting confused. So the Lovers, this is a real deviation. The Lovers is called the Wayfarer. Back to the book. I hope you got a cup of tea. This could be a long one today. Wish I had a cup of tea. Okay, the Wayfarer, traditionally the Lovers. A goddess ventures alone on her journey and comes to a crossroads. Each path is illuminated by 6 candles, totaling 12 in reference to the astrological houses and the cycles we go through. A wayfarer is a journeyer, often on foot, and this means you're on a path where it's okay to go at your own pace. The wayfarer's right arm holds apples, denoting knowledge, and her left has a snake wrapped around it, referencing the union of Adam and Eve, but also how the snake gets an undeserved negative reputation. This card offers the reader a choice to meditate on ideas of self-love. Oh my! The Lovers are the union of separated parts, and as a unit, ask us to find the wholeness of self, of ourself with the universe. Jupiter, known as the guru or teacher planet, looms overhead. In astrology, Jupiter oversees our soul journeys and the paths we take to discover our spiritual selves. The path on the left is without struggle, but also without reward. The right path shows a mountain adorned with flowers. It might be more difficult and you will experience obstacles along the way, but experience begets self-respect. Tune into your highest self and begin forming that relationship with love. Love will then find you in unexpected ways. This card may also mean travel, literal or metaphorical, personal or in relationship. This is the alchemical union, referencing love we can find in each other and the ways in which we seek our own solo journeys. You don't need someone else to catalyze your experience of love. Keep wandering, keep finding and loving yourself. Then we have keywords: love, harmony, values, balance, self-love, choice. So, okay, praise. There are reasons this artist is changing the cards within the context of the intuitive night goddess, and in ways that really expand on, that are rooted in and still represent, but also expand on the traditional. So the Wayfarer, I'm kind of struggling to see how that sort of connects to self-love, that title, but I really love the message that this card is representing. And it also tells us that this isn't a deck that you just pick up and read with your already internalized traditional meanings. All right, take it on its own merit. Learn the differences in the cards because it's definitely adding a layer. Freedom. Here's Chariot, but it's freedom. Wow, look at the animals. I'm not going to read every one of these, but I want to, so I will be doing this when I'm not shooting a video, or we would be here for hours and hours. Here's Strength. There are no wild animals she's taming. She's in a garden of flowers. She's got the infinity sign, the lemniscate above her head, and just looking very calm and solid. Interesting. Introspection is the Hermit. That's very apt. That makes a lot of sense. The Wheel of Fortune is called Chance, and I like that too. Because I always look at the Wheel of Fortune as change, organic change. There are many cards of change in the deck, and especially in the major arcana, and they all represent different types of change. For instance, Tower is sudden, unexpected, disruptive change, Uranian change. And the Wheel I always see as organic, cyclical, timely change. But this says chance, and so that brings in that, some people look at that Wheel of Fortune like a roulette wheel, spin and take your chances and luck and that kind of stuff. So this takes it into that realm, and I like that. I don't know what she has in her hand that's black and flowing down. I'm not going to look it up now. Yes, I am. I lied. I lied. Sorry. A beautiful blossom blows fortune. She holds a sheet of darkness containing mysteries even the stars do not know. Awesome. Here's Justice. All right, so that's the same with the blindfold. And we do have ethnic diversity here. We have different cultures represented. A lot of Indian, really, but here we get into like Europe. And so there's Justice. Meditation is the Hanged Man. I like that too. Look at the serene look on her face. That's Saraswati. Oh, that's what she looks like to me anyway. Here's Death. Ooh, look at the Death card. Look at how there is no face, there's just a hole. So we see a skeletal horse and a rod with a skull on it, and there's a scythe, and then there's a sickle. It's like that's weird. There's like a nail through the scythe or something. I need to see it bigger. And there is a sickle and a barrel hanging from that. Oh, that's a handle. Isn't that a handle on the blade that you grab onto? But there's a scythe and a sickle and a barrel. Sorry, I'm hearing weird noises. But this facelessness and seeing through to the stars, I really like. I really like. What's going on down there, Pyewacket? He is fucking around under the bed, and I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, here's Temperance. Wow, it looks like the water's actually pouring through her hands. And there we have those rays again from the black moon, I guess. Reclamation. Okay, hold up. Temperance. The devil is reclamation. Back we go. A goddess stands determined with one hoof on land and one in rocky water. So she has hooves. Her left hand points towards the earth, bound by her scarf, in a position reminiscent of the witch's creed, as above, so below. Her right hand raised above holds a wand, the element of fire, blossoming creativity, spirituality, and passion. Okay, so the raspberry patch is full of thorns, but also fruit. Lets us know our labor will be hard but worth it. Butterfly represents transformation, possibility, and freedom. On the other side, the vulture waits. Our worries and fears prey upon our expressions, thoughts, and stories about ourselves. This is a time to reclaim your narrative. It may be difficult, but be patient and keep showing up for yourself. So this is where I see the devil as describing things that have more control of us than we have of them. So this is where this title really makes sense, because you reclaim your narrative. Something else has gotten a hold of my story, and I'm now a passenger. So this is where we reclaim, and in order to reclaim, we have to acknowledge where we've gotten caught and trapped. All right? Wow. Revolution is the tower. We see the lightning bolt. You do see a tower building like in flames behind. So there are little allusions to the original. Then we have the star. No need to change that. They're just beautiful. They really are. Here's the moon. And it seems to me like with the devil being called reclamation, and I don't get the feeling with this deck that we are overlaying false positivity on cards that are, that stand for strife and troubles. I do get the idea that we are being, that when you sit down to use this deck, you're already looking to delve into the shadows, right? And what you're going to find there is signposts. Here's what you've found. The devil said, or the, reclamation says, there's a place where you've been caught. There's a place where you no longer feel empowered. What do you need to reclaim? So that's a signpost saying something's been lost and needs to be reclaimed. And yeah, I love, it's not the false positive overlay, it's finding the positive by going into the dark. Here's the moon. She's interesting looking. A lot of familiar elements there. Here's the sun. We don't have a naked baby. Lots of sunflowers, but we still have that black thing. Awakening. So this is judgment. I like awakening rather than judgment. But what can happen is you can awaken to your own judgments. You transform your view of things by acknowledging where you have placed judgments on things and kind of, solidified them. So you can awaken that you've got a judgment that's solid, and you can go at it and shift that judgment. Give yourself more choice. And here's the universe. So we don't have like the 4 fixed signs. This one, if I didn't know the title or the number of the card, I would be hard-pressed to say that it represents the world or the universe. In fact, I don't think I'd be able to at all. I might guess the magician, but there's only a wand and not any of the other tools. So that one does stray. Okay, now we have the suits. Here are the wands. We have red puppies. I like that the wands are just kind of like rods of light here. Here's the 2. Little dragon. The 3. So we see water and mountains. I am going to go through and really learn these cards. Let's take a look at this one in particular, for no particular reason. This goddess skips and glides over the dark waves of water beneath her. Small islands of flowers produce beautiful staves of light with snowy mountains in the background. A sun hails overhead as she bounds and leaps, grasping the middle wand. She's helping life grow amidst a barren landscape, and the sunshine lets her know the universe supports her endeavors. Now may be a time of big ideas for you. Signaling a vision unseen to others. You feel grounded in this connection to the world around you, blah, blah, blah. Feel called to trust. So keywords: success, recognition, innovation, contribution, trailblazer. So we do have keywords that really go back to original meanings, but Also very different. So, Four of Wands with the hand. There's the 5. I'm just going to go through the images now without a whole lot of commentary because, wow, we're half an hour already and I'm not even a third of the way through the deck. The 5 of Wands. One person with all those wands going in different directions. There's the 6. Victory with a white heart. 7. The 8. So again, we're seeing very familiar images. I'm getting, little nuances of familiarity with each one. There's the 9 of Wands and the 10. Okay, so now we're into the courts, and we have Nymph in place of Page. Come on. We have Warrior for Knight. Oh, look at her. We have the Queen and the Spirit. Okay, so yeah, we are going full feminine. We had Nymph, Warrior, Queen, Spirit. I love it. I love the cups. It just makes me feel nice. The Ace, the 2. Rather than juggling, we see balancing. That's nice. The 3. 3 hands reaching out with cups. The 4. 5. So some of these are almost Pippish. You see a person here with a body posture, but these are just cups with light coming out in different directions and flowers in the middle. I'm assuming that the dandelions in the middle are a meaning carrier. I'm sure they are. I'm not going to look it up. Here's the 6. So I don't know that I would pull memory out of this as a keyword. This woman is like flowers on top. The 7. That's pretty traditional. Here's the 8. You can get the traditional out of that as well. The 9, looking very happy, satisfied. I'm finding it hard to pick up the cards one by one. And here's the 10. I love the rainbow. And we have women down in the water here. Here is the Nymph of Cups. The Warrior. Look at the polar bear. Let's see if they mention courts separately. Yes, they do. As we enter the higher minor arcana, we meet Nymph, Warrior, Queen, and Spirit, each offering her own mini cycles. As we move through each suit, we witness the cycles we saw in the major arcana in smaller, more specific ways. Interesting. The nymph, often nude, is an inhabitant of the wild earth and her elements. She's unburdened and inquisitive. She doesn't have much besides herself. So there's a good description here. The warrior is a natural evolution of the nymph. She begins to explore the world. She becomes emboldened and empowered. All right. The queen represents someone mature who has the benefit of life experience and is beginning to settle into her true power. The spirit represents our highest self. Death is never an end, but an opportunity for rebirth and knowledge. Okay, so spirit is the final form of the cycle where all understanding gains place. Okay, the most evolved of all the higher minor arcana, the spirit offers deep wisdom and signals enlightenment attained. You've mastered what it is you've been trying to achieve. You've done all that you need to elevate a situation and gain the knowledge or the achievements of whatever suit you are working with. This is a card of completion. All right. There's the Queen of Cups and the Spirit. Ooh, look at the eyes. The Ace of Swords, the 2. I appreciate the blindfolds. They're significant to me, the cards that have blindfolds. 3 of Swords, the 4, 5, the 6. So here, yeah, these are, like I said, almost pippish. What's the action happening here? I don't know. I didn't know, because there's only one person. We don't see moving in any way here. Here's the 7. That looks more like the thief card to me. 7 of Swords. There's the 8. Another blindfold. The 9. But we don't see by her image that she's experiencing distress of any kind. So again, good to have the grounding in the traditional, but also good to be able to let that go and let something new in, let another layer in. Here's the 10 of Swords. Yeah, I mean, we don't see an image of ruin and devastation and stuff. The Nymph, the Warrior, the Queen, and Spirit. I love the eyes in the Spirit ones. The Ace of Pentacles, and the 2. Oh, there's the juggling. What was I talking about with 2 of Cups? I was saying, not juggling, but balancing. So balancing, when 2 of Cups is the relationship card, the 2 people, but this is just showing balance maybe within the self, balance of emotions. So there's the 2 of Pentacles juggling. There's the 3. We're back to, many sari-clad women here. 5. And again, would you be led to talk about hardship and poverty here? I would not. The 6. I think that's the first kind of Asian image I've seen. The 7, 8, 9, the 10. That's totally Pip. Totally Pip. I keep thinking, okay, it's these cards are thicker than I really think because I keep thinking I'm picking up 2. There's the Nymph, the Warrior. Look at the Buffalo. Queen with a ram and a rabbit, and Spirit. Okay, what you couldn't see happen when I lit the charcoal is that I dropped it. It hit my desk and then it rolled on the floor as it was lighting. Oops. Okay, let's get together a blessing and cleansing of this deck. I don't know if I have anything to light here. Oh, there's a little bit. This is just the initial clearing, and when I go to read for me first time, I do a much more concentrated. All right. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. By water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may you be activated with Spirit. Sometimes I get a little bit too much water on them. All right. And guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, welcome. Please, I invite you to work with me and this deck. Bring your wisdom. I offer you fresh water, the fire of Azrael, and my eternal gratitude. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this thing shuffles. Well, first of all, we're going to split it exactly in the middle because, at least we get one shuffle where they might go evenly. It's actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be, but I expect it to get harder from here because we've got cards taller than other cards. So from here on, a riffle shuffle is going to come off in chunks. Watch. And it's still not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's not good either. So yeah, be aware of that when you buy this deck. And let me see if I can get it so you can really see here. Look at the edge there. That's how off the cutting is. Side to side seems to be everything lines up this way. This way, nah. All right. Let's, this is tough. Interestingly, the riffle shuffle was a little bit easier than the cut shuffle. Maybe it's the satin finish, but do you see how they don't really slide against each other? That could also be my fault for anointing with water. But let's, yeah, I am not a fan of the cardstock. I am not a fan of them being cut unevenly. That's a publisher problem. And I am sorry. I will say I'm sorry to Lindsay Silverman that your deck has been cut this way. It makes me sad. And I would be going to my publisher and saying, hey, my fans are complaining to me. And when you try to cut shuffle, yeah, it's just chunks. Look at, there's chunks. So, this, I was going to say spread and pull, but it doesn't spread easily either. Big clumps. This might be a deck that would benefit from fanning powder. If you don't know what fanning powder is, it's this powder that magicians use to so their cards fan uniformly and they slide against each other. Thank you to Spiritual Growth Tarot for that hot tip. I'm going to do a split and pull. So we're just going to ask, what do we need to know right now? What do we need to know right now? 3 cards, please. Just thought of a fun little exercise. 6 of Swords. Introspection, good. We have a minor and a major. Can we have a court? No, we have 2 majors. Ooh, okay. I like it when you say, you know, you have a simple question and you're only taking a few cards and the deck says, okay, then I better come out swinging. If I only get a few cards to make statements, they're going to be big statements. All right. So what do we need to know right now? Let's go to the 6 of Swords. I'm glad I didn't do it initially. And see, you know, the difference. So 6 of Swords in the traditional shows people in a boat with swords standing up and they're moving across the water. And it can indicate moving through a difficult situation. Success kind of in that sense of we're moving, you know, we're getting through. So this says the goddess sits crestfallen as she gazes towards the canyons. She perceives a long journey ahead and feels exhausted. She's lost everything and wonders how she will move through this landscape. Where am I? What will I discover? She wears minimal garments and belongings, suggesting this position is not new. Suggesting this position is not new. She writes some things in kind of an enigmatic way, or she uses words that I'm not used to hearing used that way, and it kind of stops my brain, which is a good thing, because her writing overall is clear. You know exactly what she's saying, but then there's a moment where I go, and it makes me think, and that's always a good thing. She wears minimal garments and belongings, suggesting this position is not new. Fear and anxiety can hold us back, represented by the cloth at her feet and reminiscent of reclamation. How can you break free to claim the bounty that the stars are offering? There's a vision yet to be recognized. Take time to rest and then gather yourself. You've got this. The keywords are transition, release, change, emotional baggage, and moving on. I'm also noticing that there are no reversed meanings here. I don't know that whether she mentions it or not, but I'm not going to look that up. I'll leave it to you to find out. Okay. So the first thing that we need to know, wherever you are when you're watching this, is that you're in transition. Things are in flux. This isn't how they're always going to be. All right? And when things are in flux, we have to kind of let go of the known, and that becomes very uncomfortable for us. So things are moving, and we can find ourselves in a lot of anxiety. Now, there we go. Introspection. This is traditionally the hermit. A goddess wanders in a snowy terrain with only her wand to illuminate the way. She journeys solo with a vision of a flower manifesting before her eyes. This is a card of isolation, soul-searching, and personal journey. Now is the time to be with yourself and process your energy. Go to the depths and see what's there. Be patient with yourself during this hard and revealing work. Often, when the goddess of introspection comes into our lives, it results in a personal evolution. You are journeying to the inner aspects of yourself, possibly even shadow forms. And once they are revealed, there's no going back. So that's an initiatory kind of thing. You're discovering big truths about yourself and should welcome them in as information to guide you. Look around as the universe wants to offer its support through signs and messages. Be gentle during this time as lessons come your way. Don't be afraid to take the unknown path. Tap into your fire and intuition. The night will be over soon. Isolation, soul, journeying, inner guidance. So we have two in a row here that talks about being in the middle of a transition, being in kind of a dark part of a transition, where we've had to let go of the known and we're anxious about the unknown. That's the first part. This says when you're in that position, go deep. We find ourselves, the instinct is to kind of back away and go shallow because we're uncomfortable. But the truth is, if you go towards the source of discomfort, if you go forward rather than back, if you go deep rather than shallow, you do move forward. You have a sense of moving forward rather than kind of being stuck in anxiety. You can acknowledge, yes, I am in transition, and go for the deep wisdom of it. Okay. And then number 1, the witch. All right. I don't know that I'm going to read this whole thing. It's really long. Traditionally, the magician, this goddess, stands upon a luscious altar of flowers and earth, with all of the elements and suits of the minor arcana before her. From left to right, the glowing pentacle is at her feet, representing the element of earth, a grounding energy, or that of financial, physical needs and security in this life. The coin is at her right foot. Okay, wait a minute. The glowing pentacle. Oh, okay. The coin is at her right foot, representing the energy she wants to welcome into her world. From her hand, a wand of light spills out, descending to the earth. The wand represents the element of fire, spirituality, creativity, ideas, passion. This is the seed of any thought or action, how we bring our dreams into reality, and how we tap into who we are and who we are becoming. Her hand is raised high because it is through our intuition and connection to the universe and the energy around us that we are best able to align ourselves with the power of the wands. In her other hand, she holds a glowing sword pointing towards the earth. The sword represents the element of air, action, decision, new ideas. This is where we begin to manifest and show ourselves to the world. The witch points downward, recognizing it as a tool to carve our way along our earthbound journey. The cup of light is at her left foot and represents the element of water, intuition, creativity, dreams, relationships, feelings. The cup contains the depths of our truest selves and is filled with the energy we have to connect with others. This represents what we are ready to let go of and what we are letting the universe know we want more of. Our witch, our mage, our goddess contains multitudes. She asks us to harness our inherent ability to find balance and transcend all of these elements to tap into her true power and magic. Once we understand the flow of energy, the progressive process, or it could be the process of progress. Once we understand the flow of energy, the progressive process, our abilities to manifest and mold, we can create and craft our worlds into the ones we want to see, the ones we see when we close our eyes and connect to our higher selves. Locate all of the resources before you and don't be afraid to wield them. So here comes the advice. Remember the mantra, as above, so below. There is no good or bad, but all is ebb or flow, represented by the infinity halo above our witch. It's hard to see, but it's there. This goddess understands the cycles of things, the planting of the seed with wands, the watering of an idea or relationship with cups, the bringing of life, the bringing into life of swords, and enjoying the abundance and harvest of pentacles. Allow yourself to flow where you are and find your space in the magical cosmos. And I did read it all. Magic, manifestation, power, action. So, I mean, there's a lot. Her writing is good. It's very good. So now let's play a little game. So here we are, kind of stuck in the middle, in transition. Notice that she's sitting down and not moving. So we're at a place in this transition where we've kind of stopped for whatever reason, because we're anxious, because we're fearful, because we're reassessing the path. And we have taken the time, we're taking the time to go deeper, to really examine what it is we want. What do we want? Where are we trying to get? The clearer the goal is defined, the more easily we can get there and the clearer the path becomes. If you are, if you get in the car and you say, I want to get somewhere better, and you just start to drive, what's better? How do you know where to go? What's your path? You don't know, because better is just a really nebulous word. But if you say, get in the car and say, I am hungry, I need to get to a place to eat, then you could just wander until you hit a place. If you say, I'm hungry and I want to go to this specific restaurant for this specific food, then you know your path. The more specific the destination, the clearer the path. So introspection is going to allow us to question, what do we really want? And equally important, what are we most afraid of? And to take us to kind of face that fear. And then the witch says we make the magic. We tap into our connection with the universe. We tap into all of these elements that we carry inside ourselves, that we are intimately connected with, that we are made of. And we manipulate those elements, we wrangle those elements into the form of the thing that we're after. Wow. And we're almost at an hour. I was going to do a little exercise, because what would be really interesting, and I will recommend this to you even though I shall not do it now, we had those 3-card spreads. It'd be very interesting to look at these, to take 3 cards and then interpret them by each of the things, past, present, future. So you can do this. I've just told you what these cards mean. You can do this. Mind, body, spirit. Intention, block, solution. Receive, release, patience. Situation, action, outcome. Start, stop, continue. You, other, relationship, strength, weakness, advice. Logic, emotion, decision. You, direction, potential, where you are, where you want to be, how to get there. I'm going to play with these for a while longer, but I'm going to stop shooting a video of it. What do you think? Who has this deck? Do you guys have this deck? Do you have either of the other 2 from this publisher, which were the Chibi Tarot and the Houseplant Tarot? Please let me know, because I'm not sure whether I want another deck from this publisher, considering it was not cut straight. But give me your thoughts. Let's engage. Let's have a back and forth, shall we? If you like this video, let me know. Hit the like down below. If you're not subscribed, please consider that. There are other ways to support the channel below. And I hope that you are well and that you've had a wonderful day. And I hope that this video in some way brought some interest and entertainment of some sort or another to your day. Take care, you guys. I will see you next time. And until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.